Hello, welcome back. It's now 12:30 p.m. November 9th. I'm Stephen Tobin with your Cardinal News.
And I'm Kathleen Sundin. Last month, the Department of Religious Studies hosted the Immigration and Social Justice Seminar led by University of Dayton's Dr. Naomi Deanda. We go to Carla Bayo with more on the story.
The Department of Religious Studies hosted a discussion about religion and social justice. This is what Dr. Naomi Deanda had to say.
Discussion today was about the mix of what is it that we find in Catholic teaching that helps us to understand immigration, as well as what can we challenge in Catholic teaching, get to know what Catholic teachings are and participate in those, and that it's really okay to think about and interrogate those teachings. We don't just have to accept them hook, line, and sinker, but be able to ask questions about them and go deeper, because our faith lives should go deeper, and asking those questions should allow us to go deeper.
We have to vote. That's something that caught my attention today, because sometimes people do not vote. People want to be heard, but we don't know how to do it. We don't know what to do. So it's good for us to write to senators. It's good for us to look and reach out for help, especially as an immigrant, those of us that have the chance to do something for these people. So we must do something about it for sure.
As an immigrant coming from Mexico, I think it's really important that not only other immigrants know about the issues going on, but as well as everyone else, let them know that there is support for them, there are people here for them, and we can get through this together.
If you want more information on how you can help out, you can visit www.ctu.org. This is Carla Bello reporting for UIWtv News.
Thank you, Carla.
On Tuesday, iHeartRadio's Manny Bautista Macias talked to students in the Radio Practicum class about marketing and social media. Once again, we turn to Carla Bayo, who has more on the event.
Hey Cardinals, in the speaker series on the Radio Practicum class, Manny Bautista Marcia from iHeartRadio discussed how social media is now driving forces in the radio industry. This is what he said.
What I like about my job, there's so many things that I like about it. The main thing that is that my work gets to be seen by a lot of people, right? So I take a lot of passion to what I do. Not many people get to experience that, and not many people get to be known by their work, right? And through this media outlet, it's very easy for people to see all that I can do. That's something that I really enjoy.
I thought he was really informative and really helpful on the social media side of things. Even though it was still about radio, he still incorporated on behind the scenes that everybody pretty much finds out about what's on the radio through what he does.
He came over here and talked to students about how he does things, and he particularly made the point of not being afraid, sticking yourself out there, let folks know you. And he's talked a lot about social media, especially as it's used in the radio industry, and the idea that students should prepare themselves for everything, and who knows what's going to be the next big thing, but right now he's into what's the big thing.
The lecture was very interesting and informative. This is Carla Bello reporting for UIWtv News.
It's awesome to see what our radio friends have going on. Now we switch to what's going on here and around the world, thanks to CNN News Source.
First, we begin with the tragic story that took place last weekend. On Sunday, November 5th, in the quiet town of Sutherland Springs, Texas, residents attended the regular Sunday service at the First Baptist Church. During the service, a gunman opened fire on the churchgoers, leaving 25 dead, including that of an unborn child. The gunman was said to have worn, quote, tactical-type gear, end quote, and was armed with a rifle and handgun. Looking into his past, investigators discovered that he was dishonorably discharged from the Air Force in 2012 for escaping a mental health facility and then sneaking firearms on base. During the shooting, local residents shot at the suspect as he fled the scene. Later, officers found the suspect dead in his car from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Our hearts and thoughts go out to the victims and their families.
Hundreds of South Koreans gathered in the streets of Seoul on Tuesday for two opposing demonstrations, one to show support for the visiting President Trump and the other to display disapproval and mounting worry of North Korea's nuclear threats. Here's CNN news source with more on the story.
It's a fairly small crowd of anti-Trump protesters that has gathered here in downtown Seoul, but they're certainly vocal. Organisers think they have about 5,000 people here, police themselves not giving an estimate. But the message is very clear. They are saying to the US President Donald Trump, you are simply not welcome here in South Korea. According to these people here, they believe that Trump has made the situation on the peninsula even worse. They believe that he has made it more tense by the heated words that we have heard from him when it comes to not just North Korea, but also the leader Kim Jong-un. They also, many of them are against THAAD, the US missile defense system, which the US has brought in, and they have been chanting, no Trump, no war. A little earlier, the Trump motorcade drove straight past these protesters on the way to the state dinner with President Moon Jae-in. The protesters were ready, and they were all chanting, no Trump, no war, as he went past. There was even a couple of fireworks let off to mark the occasion. And on the other side of the road, there was a pro-Trump and pro-America contingent. It was much smaller, the demographics was much older, but they wanted the US president to know that he was very welcome here in South Korea. Now, police were making sure that the two sides of this argument were not meeting, keeping them on opposite sides of the road. A peaceful protest, a vocal protest, but one, they say, with a very clear message: Trump, go home.
Almost 15,000 officers are being deployed to keep watch and provide security. Trump's presence in South Korea brought into light a population deeply divided along ideological lines.
On a lighter note, the men's basketball team at the University of Michigan has a new player, and let's just say that the new guy has a lot of work ahead of him.
It's win-win for both groups.
The media room in the Chrysler Center was buzzing as Coach John Beilein waited for his newest recruit to arrive.
This is what we coach for right here.
That's Jude Stamper out of Monroe.
You sign your letter of intent right there to become a Wolverine for life.
The 12-year-old phenom has overcome 10 surgeries due to a few disorders affecting his joints to become the Wolverines' most important signee in years.
It's just an honor to be able to be on a team that I can't be on, like for playing basketball, sports, or anything. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's a great recruit to have because I know that you're not going to go pro early. Right? You're sticking with us?
Yeah.
The players have taken an instant liking to their newest teammate and think the long season won't be any problem.
Look at the kid. I don't think if anyone in this room is not wearing down, I think it is him after everything he has been through, and the dude really understands that every day is a blessing.
And like a true superstar, Jude is humble.
How soon before you think you should be in the starting lineup?
I don't know.
And doesn't know why the spotlight is on him.
Yeah, I'm already starting to make a lot of good friends with them, so I'm still excited as the season goes on to have a good time with them.
All right, guys.
If you can see the smile on Jude's face when he has seen all these guys, it's like, it's worth it right there.
UIW is also looking forward to joining Team Impact sometime in the near future, so be on the lookout for new players.
This has been your UIWtv News, but don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned for your entertainment scoop.
Hey there, Cardinals, and welcome to UIWtv Entertainment, where we keep you updated on what's happening on campus and around the beautiful San Antonio area. I'm Brian Medina. Even though Halloween is over, the celebration continues through culture. I'm talking about El Dia de los Muertos, where people have the opportunity to honor the dead at La Villita here in San Antonio. Here is Amanda Acuna with more on the event.
Hey there, Cardinals. We're at La Villita, where they are celebrating Dia de los Muertos, so let's go check it out. So what inspired your altar? I'm sorry.
The altar is inspired by our arts director, Lisa Dyer, and she coordinated all the students from kinder through 8th grade to everybody's got a part to do here. As you can see, most of the ornaments are, you can tell that they're kid-made, and it was just a great coordination between grades and having everybody become a part of this. This is the third year that the schools participated, and they've won the past 2 years, and we're hoping this will be the third year in a row that they conquer that. And the students, like I said, we're focused on the students.
So how long have you been volunteering at this festival and selling things here?
We've been selling here for 2 years now. This is our second year doing the festival, and we've been just big time Muertos celebrators for a long time.
We sell a lot of Mexican folk art inspired, so a lot of the nichos that we do down here is what we concentrate more on, and we also do personalized paintings and portraits and anything that's having to do with San Antonio or culture or fun here, all mixed into one, and it's great.
I loved every part of this festival. I'm Amanda Cunha for UIWtv Entertainment.
Thanks, Amanda. What a beautiful event. The weekend before Halloween, adults got the chance to reconnect with their childhood at the Museum, where they participated in different activities. Here's Marco Cadena with more on the story.
The museum hosted Redo Under the Big Top, a 21 and over gathering on October 26, where guests were able to channel their inner child.
So the concept of Redo, of course, is reliving a part of your childhood, and a lot of people grew up going to the circus and experiencing things like that. So the circus theme gives people the opportunity to come and enjoy that sort of a concept and play with different things. We have really cool acts. We have a magician, we have a mermaid in the stream, we have a stilt walker, and we have a lot of cool stuff like a flea circus that we're doing in the art studio. So there are a lot of fun attractions that make it feel like a real circus.
I think it's different in terms of you can be a big kid. Like, as an elementary teacher, I appreciate and I enjoy the activities I do with my students, but now it's my turn to do it as an adult, but not be judged for it. I can do it outside of my classroom. I can do it with other adults around me.
I honestly think this is the best one. It could be the DJ that we have, or just the whole Halloween atmosphere. I'm not sure if we had a Halloween one before, but I think that one is playing a big factor into it. In the past, we've had like Valentine's, and that's the only one I can think of right now. Aside from the vendors, right now we have our new exhibit going on, Science Fiction, Science Future. So it's like a glimpse into what the future could be.
Under the Big Top was the last Redo event of 2017. San Antonio's Children's Museum plans to bring it back early next year. Reporting for UIWtv Entertainment, I'm Marco Cadena.
Have fun! Speaking of fun, if you like a good murder mystery, boy, have I got the movie for you. I'm talking about Murder on the Orient Express, which is based on the best-selling novel from 1934. Let's take a look at the trailer.
The murderer is on the train with us now, and every one of you is a suspect. So, let us catch a killer.
If you're not into murder mysteries, some other movies that are coming to theater near you includes Daddy's Home 2, coming out this Friday, and The Justice League is coming out as well, November 16th. I have to say, I'm very excited to watch this movie. Alright, Cardinals, well, the month of Halloween has ended. I know, I'm pretty sad too, but Christmas is right around the corner, aka my favorite holiday. There's food, lights, fashion, and presents. Why don't we check out the Cardinal calendar for some upcoming holiday events? First, we have Luminal Contemporary Art Festival from 7 p.m. until midnight. This event gives locals the opportunity to see artists in action. The art festival will be this Friday and Saturday. Next, we have College Night at the McNay Museum, where you can get in free with your student ID and enjoy the night of music and food. And I even heard there's going to be a piñata. This event will be on the 17th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Lastly, we have our annual Thanksgiving Open House celebration at the Incarnate Word Village, where there's going to be food, games, and family fun. This event will be on the 19th from 1 p.m. to 4. Well, Cardinals, that's all for today. I hope to see you at any of these future events. Until then, stay tuned for UIWtv en Español. I'm your host, Brianna Medina.
Buenas tardes, cardenales. Mi nombre es Vanessa Herrera y estas son las noticias de UIWtv en español. El vicepresidente de los Estados Unidos, Mike Pence, visitó el día de ayer a varios sobrevivientes del tiroteo del pasado domingo en una iglesia baptista en Texas. Pence visitó el centro médico Brooke Army, en el que se encuentran 7 heridos, acompañado por su esposa, varios congresistas y el gobernador de Texas. De la misma manera, Pence asistió a una vigilia en un estadio deportivo en Floresville, cuyo distrito escolar perdió a 2 estudiantes en el tiroteo. La balacera dejó al menos 26 muertos y alrededor de 20 heridos. En noticias internacionales, miles de ciudadanos surcoreanos protestaron la visita del presidente de los Estados Unidos, Donald Trump, a su país el pasado martes 7 de noviembre. Protestantes exigieron al mandatario nacional de Corea del Sur que se alejara de las políticas estadounidenses. Durante su visita, el mandatario dio un discurso ante parlamentarios surcoreanos sobre las amenazas de Corea del Norte y la posible resolución de la crisis. Dicho discurso forma parte de su gira de 12 días a través del continente asiático, la cual busca promover los intereses económicos estadounidenses en la región. En temas de salud, ¿podría el azúcar, que vuelve las cosas tan apetitosas, provocar el cáncer? De acuerdo a recientes estudios, un mecanismo biológico en las células de la levadura podría explicar la relación entre el azúcar y los tumores malignos. Dicho estudio, el cual inició con la observación de células cancerosas y su apetito por el azúcar, reveló la existencia de un círculo vicioso que podría ayudar a explicar la agresividad del cáncer. Los científicos expresan que las células cancerosas respaldan su rápida reproducción al recibir glucosa, fermento y lactado. Miles de fanáticos se reunieron del 27 al 29 de octubre en el Alamo Dome, en San Antonio, para llevar a cabo la convención anual Alamo City Comic Con. El evento, cuya edición Halloween celebró el fanatismo al horror, le dio la bienvenida a personas disfrazadas de sus personajes favoritos y a distintas celebridades, pintores y escultores. Asistentes tuvieron la oportunidad de tomarse fotografías con artistas y de participar en distintos paneles temáticos. Se espera que el Alamo City Comic Con vuelva en el 2018. Cardenales, hasta aquí llegamos con las noticias de UIWtv en español. Soy Vanessa Crispín Herrera. Los dejo con Ryan en el segmento deportivo.
Good afternoon, Cardinals, and welcome back. I'm your sports reporter, Ryan Shoptaw. UIW football fought hard against Nicholls State here at home 2 weeks ago, and in the first quarter, Nicholls State jumped ahead 14-0. Going into the second quarter, UIW cut the lead when wide receiver Philip Baptist hauled in a 20-yard touchdown throw by Sean Brophy. Just before the half, the Cardinals countered with a 100-yard kick return from running back Desmond Height. The Cardinals reemerged from the locker room, driving 90 yards in just 6 plays, capping off the rushing touchdown with Raquan Dickens. As the game continued, quarterback Sean Brophy hit Zaire Andre for a 2-yard reception into the end zone. Just down a touchdown in the fourth quarter, the Cardinals attempted an onside kick but was unsuccessful and recovered by the Colonels, ending the game 31-38. We'll get them next time. Don't miss their game where they'll be taking on Central Arkansas on November 11th at 6 p.m. at Benson Stadium. The Cardinals cross-country team has been training for months for the Southland Conference Championship held in Abilene, Texas. Let's go to Gabrielle Estrada to see how they did.
Hey Cardinals fans, we're here in Abilene, Texas at ACU, where our women's and men's cross-country team are preparing to compete in the 2017 Southland Conference Championships.
I think it went pretty well overall. Obviously the weather was less than ideal, 40 degrees, 20-mile-per-hour winds, and then we had sleet at the end of the men's race, but everybody had to run in it. And then on the women's side, we went in, our top runner, Emily Wilson, has been running just great all year, and she unfortunately pulled her hamstring doing some sprinting the week before. And then one of our other girls, who was a top 5 for us, was sick the day of. So we still pulled it together and ran pretty well.
Overall, I'm so proud of the team. I think they all did well. Everyone had a lot of PRs, which is really great. Everyone was like running in a pack, and that was the goal as well.
Our team did well. I don't know if we could have prepared any differently. I mean, we've worked really hard, and we were comparing ourselves to other teams the entire season, and it seems like, you know, everybody had to show up, and everybody showed up today. It just didn't work out with the comparisons with the top 6 teams.
The men finished third out of 13 teams. The best we've ever finished is 8th during the transition to Division I, so I was proud of that.
Overall, the team did pretty good. We weren't pleased with our results, but we should keep our heads up because for the past 4 years we've got an 8th place, and This year we got third, and it was a really big start. We weren't pleased with what we got, but I mean, we did really good. We all PR'd, so I mean, we can't get too mad at ourselves. We can't put ourselves down too much, but I mean, we're only going to get better from here on out, and I feel like we're going to be ready for regionals.
We're excited to go to regionals. This is going to be the first time in school history that a program has run at the championship level, the NCAA championship level. There's 39 teams in the region, so we feel like if we're in the top 8, we're well in the top third of the region. Dion and Garrett have a really good shot qualifying individually, so the way the regional process works is the top 2 teams automatically make it to the national meet, and then the top 4 individuals not on those 2 teams go. And historically, just looking at past times and that have been run at regionals and what Dion and Garrett have run, that's going to put them in the mix to be in the top 4.
We're excited, we're stoked, we're pumped, and we're going to do what it takes to get some of us in there for nationals and show that it's no more sleeping on us no more. Like, we're here to run, we're here to compete, and we're ready to be full D1.
We saw a lot of competition at the Southland Conference Championships, but with great individual performances from the Cardinals, we saw the men finish in 3rd and the women finish in 6th. They're getting ready to prepare for regionals, which is in 2 weeks at Texas A&M, and they will be their first time competing. This is Gabriela Estrada reporting for UIWtv.
The UIW men's basketball team hosted the men's Wild Game Dinner on November 4th and had a special guest come visit the Student Engagement Center. Let's go to Kelsey Johnson to see who it was.
This year's annual Wild Game Dinner is hosted by UIW Men's Basketball in the new Student Engagement Center ballroom. People are enjoying food, drinks, and a silent auction, but in high anticipation. Former Spurs player and 2-time NBA champion Matt Bonner is this year's special guest. So as a former athlete with 10 seasons with the Spurs under your belt, what are you going to go in there and tell the players tonight?
Well, I mainly want to get everybody at the event excited about UIW basketball and the direction they're moving in. It's really cool, and I see a lot of potential for the university's program just because it's right in the heart. The campus is like right in the heart of San Antonio.
This is definitely a Spurs town, and everybody follows the Spurs, and having a name, a headliner, really helps our attendance.
Also in attendance was President Dr. Evans, who met with the team, and Athletic Director Dr. Wickstrom, who broke down the funds.
Travel, we use the funds to pay for a lot of things that the teams don't get necessarily in terms of maybe it's for some summer school. If we need to fly commercial for a trip, we can do that. It's just anything we can do to enhance the budget to help the student-athlete experience.
When you think of San Antonio, the Spurs are part of the culture of the city, the community of the city, and like I said, UIW is the same thing.
Reporting for UIWtv, I'm Kelsey Johnson.
Now let's get into some Texas history and something we'll remember for the rest of our lives. For the first time in franchise history, the Houston Astros are 2017 World Series champions. Last Wednesday in Los Angeles, the Astros earned a 5-1 win over the Dodgers in Game 7 of the World Series. Houston led the series 3-2 last week and lost Game 6, settling the stage for the most intense Game 7 in World Series history. Bouncing back, George Springer led the Astros with the double into the left field corner. One inning later, the MVP gave his team a 5-0 lead with a 2-run homer to center field. Starting pitcher Lance McCullers also made history in Game 7, being the first pitcher since Jack Morris in 1991 to start a World Game Series 7 and not allow a run. Just under 1 million people flooded downtown Houston for the victory parade on Friday, November 3rd, in support of the Astros. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check out our social media page for home game updates and on latest scores, as well as onlineathletics.com. This is from UIW Sports. I'm Ryan Shoptaw. Stay tuned for the weather forecast with meteorologist Brittany Morales.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at our best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Cardinals. I'm meteorologist Brittany Mireles for your Cardinal weather. Outside we have these overcast skies, so it's all cloudy when you walked out this morning. As far as our current temperatures, it's currently 52 degrees, and we're getting north winds at 9 miles per hour, so it actually feels like 49 degrees out there with those winds. Around San Antonio, we have temperatures over here in Kerrville at 49, and as you get further down south, it gets a little bit warmer, 52. All around in the mid-50s, all throughout and around San Antonio. As far as our dew points, you're going to see that it's really dry today. So it's actually a really good hair day for my ladies, and it's just a lot of dry and cool air all around San Antonio. And actually over here on satellite and radar, the Midwest had an Arctic blast, and it was 6 degrees when they woke up this morning. As far as San Antonio here in Texas, we've just had a lot of cloud cover, not too much to worry about besides a few pop-up showers, just a nuisance on our windshields as we're driving. Our futurecast, you're going to be seeing that front move through past Texas, and we're going to have a lot of cloud cover as we get into Saturday. As far as our UIW game, it's just going to be partly cloudy. We don't have to worry about any rain ruining our football game. Our high for today is going to be 62, and then Friday 65. As we get into the weekend, our highs are going to get into the high 70s, and our lows are going to get into the high 50s. And I know you see all this rain chances here. I wouldn't worry too much about that. The only day we're going to have to worry about rain is on Sunday. Other than that, it's a great day, Cardinals. I'm meteorologist Brittany Mireles for your Cardinal weather.
Thanks for tuning in to our broadcast today. Keep up with what's going on at UIWtv by following our Instagram and Twitter and liking us on Facebook.
Have a great weekend. Make sure to tune in 2 weeks from now for the latest news from on and off campus. I'm Kathleen Sundin.
And I'm Stephen Tobin.
Signing off.